Hello, I'm going to show you how to draw Wally the Walrus. So I'm going to start off with Wally, and here's my painting of Wally in a boat called Tembe. So I'm just going to start off with drawing the basic outline of Wally. So the outline of Wally, he hasn't got much shape, okay? He is a big blubbery walrus, so he hasn't got much shape, so you don't need to worry about any extra detail at the moment, okay? So at the start, I'm going to draw this line here. So it goes like a little arch like this, little dip for the neck, and then around for the head. It goes in, and then the rest of his body like that then. It's almost like a big, big circle, and this can be as light as you want it to be. Then we're going to quickly just sketch the outline of the boat. You don't have to do this if you just want to draw just Wally on its own, but it adds a bit of character to it. I'm just going to draw there. Draw the boat then. I'm actually doing this behind the camera, so if my lines aren't perfect, it's just because well, I don't like it being perfect straight away, but I've got one hand on the camera, one hand on the pencil. So usually I do this with both hands kind of holding, looking to see. So I've got my basic outline. Now at the moment Wally looks massive, but we have to remember a walrus is huge. So don't worry about, oh, it's big, bigger the better if it's for Wally, okay? I might make this bow, the front of the boat a little bit bigger. There we go. Now, the first thing I'll do is do the fins. So Wally's got two fins here. So you've got one that kind of goes out like this, out there, and they've got another one that comes back in. Now this one, because it's a side-on angle from Wally, I used a photograph for reference. You can see his little, almost like wrinkles and dimples. There we go. So it looks like one big, at the moment it looks like kind of like a chicken, isn't it? If you put a beak there, it might be a chicken. But bear with me. So that's that fin of powder. Now then, the nose here, okay, it's almost like, how can I explain it? It's almost like a figure of 8, really. That's what you do for the nose. So you kind of go a bit higher up on his face, and you draw a little line like this. And then you go down, up in the middle, and back down. Okay, so almost like a peanut, really. And make sure you've got that little dip in the middle there, because that's his mouth there, in the middle there. So you need that dip to show where the difference is between his whiskers and his mouth. So there's my dip there. Looks a little bit off, but it's fine for now. Then you need to draw his little mouth there. Okay, so his mouth is up here. So this is almost like his chin. So there's his chin there. Now his tusks, because he's only 3, that's why his tusks aren't too big. So I'm just going to draw 2 little tusks there, one there and one there. Okay, remember the tusks have to be roughly the same size. Okay, then you need to draw a little dark nose. So he has a big, big dark nose. He usually just has 2 holes like that. That's what the walruses usually have. Well, that's what they have. But in the paintings, it's really hard to see that. And I've almost like made him into a cartoon. So hence why I usually just give him just one big kind of dark nose. And then for the eyes, they're just small little eyes on either side of the nose then, like that. There you go. So we go around that. Now, because I've seen the shape I want him to roughly take, I can go back over now and make these lines a little bit harsher, a little bit darker, so I can just see where exactly I want each to go. Now this dip here of his, almost like his neck and shoulder, this is really important to try and get almost, at the moment he's just one big blob, but by adding some kind of curved lines like this, you can almost imagine his almost rolls of blubber, or all like kind of rolling together here because he's arching his neck. Hence why here then we'll add a couple more here to show that this is almost his neck area, and that we're adding the rolls here. Now these fins, I need to make sure that I can see these make these darker to know that they're going to be my fins. Then Wally does have a little dark patch here, almost, it does remind me of like a little heart, but I know that when I shade that in later, that'll just be a darker colour, not his actual heart. And then you're never going to get each wrinkle exactly right for Wally, so you've got to use what we call an artistic license. So just make up all these extra wrinkles then, add a bit of texture, know where your boat ends and begins, and add all these little wrinkles in there. And don't worry if they're a bit messy for now. This is just the basic outline. I make up a couple of wrinkles here. Okay, then we're going to add 2 bigger two bigger lines here, curves on the face then, so you know that this is his face and these lines are extra big. Now then, the whiskers, are just little lines like this, like that. Don't worry, they don't have to be perfect. Closer you get to the nose, they turn into dots. On the outside, little whiskers like that. Okay, I might even shade this a little bit. So this is what you call a cross-hatching sketch. You go colour one way and you colour over the other way, just to make sure that I know that these are darker then if I was to paint later on. Just make them a bit messy, because it doesn't matter. Okay, there we go. I might add some more lines here. Doesn't matter. I really like rough work when it's not perfect. You don't have to worry about making a mess. You just do whatever you feel. I'm actually going to try and make this add some more whiskers. This is actually quite a dark area of Wally. I'm just going to make it a little bit darker, make his nose stand out a bit more. There you go, and I'm going to almost add a little bit, there you go, darker, so you can always see that that's his chin. And these are his teeth, and then what you could do then is start to shade in a little bit. Add some shadows. Again, I'm just cross-hatching, so you colour one way, and then another way, just get a little bit of texture. There you go. And then you do more over here, so you can see, and you can make some wrinkles darker than others, so you know that that's the difference. Okay, so that's just a rough sketch of Wally. And then for the boat then, if you wanted to do the boat, you could just quickly go over this. I'll do this quite quickly because I know I've been talking for a while now. I just get into it, I enjoy it, it calms me, helps me relax. Some little lines. And then you could have the sea then, you know the sea's going to go there. Remember I've only got one hand doing this because the other hand's holding the camera. And yeah, that's my Wally sketch.